Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the ECMWF 42-day forecast model for today's fourth and final video. So this is your 6-week slash 42-day look at with the EC extended for the UK and Ireland. I should get on that for you in a moment. Just say that first, video today was our 6am forecast. We've also released January, Friday and a 10 to 14 day too. Please check out all of today's content. Like, share, subscribe on videos. Thank you so much everybody for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. This would normally be on a Saturday morning, by the way, this video, but this Saturday, tomorrow, we've got the second autumn 2023 season model roundup. We're getting 15 long-range models together from the world's leading forecast centre to see what they're all showing for the autumn for only the second time this season, and that means that this video has been shunted back to Friday evening. So I hope that's all right with everybody. We'll be back on Saturday morning next week. Right, we're going to start off with the week 1 mean sea level pressure anomaly from the 31st of July, 7th of August. Next week we'll see low pressure in the ascendancy across much of northern and western Europe. It is in combination with a ridge of above average heights in the Atlantic, and that leads to us pulling in the wind from a northerly direction. So that looks quite unsettled, does it? 500 millibar heights on it from the Arctic and North Pole view down, also showing that area of below average heights across the northern, central and western parts of Europe. Again, the jet stream is on a northwest-southeast alignment and whatnot. Now, the temperature anomaly for next week is below average. We're not suffering alone. Most parts of Europe actually are coming out with cooler than average temperatures next week. We're kind of almost on the periphery of that. The actual core of the cooler temperatures is through like France, Germany, etc. But nevertheless, temperatures below average next week, so quite a cool week to come. And unsettled again with above average rainfall here, particularly through England and Wales, a little bit less so closer to that area of high pressure for Scotland and Northern Ireland. But all in all, it's not great, is it? Let's be honest, next week not looking too great there. Right, week 2 will be the 7th to the 14th of August. Here we go then. And not much change really. Still got that area below average heights, so low pressure across the north and west of Europe. Still got some ridging in the Atlantic going towards Greenland. There is some higher pressure to our south as well. And again, we're putting in the wind from like a northerly, potentially northeasterly type direction. 500 millibar height anomaly, still placing that trough of below average heights over top of the UK and Ireland. We see higher pressure back towards Greenland and within the high latitudes as well. That's all looking rather unsettled, I have to say. Quite cool too, on the cool side of the jet stream with that. So once more, week 2 has below average temperatures for the UK and Ireland from the 7th to the 14th of August. And how about the precipitation? Let's have a look. Again, it's another wetter than average week, as you would expect, while we're being placed under a trough of below average heights, while we're being placed under a trough of low pressure. So cool and unsettled there. Week 3 is going to be the 14th to the 21st of August. So the suspicion would be that this white area is probably still going to be some sort of upper level trough within the 500 millibar flow. Let's have a look at the 500 millibar heights. So again, is that like the trough beginning to lift out, pressure rising, or are we still under a trough of low pressure? It's quite a strange anomaly, but I would suspect that in reality will still turn out to be an area or a trough of low pressure. The temperature anomaly is still coming out slightly below average. It's not a particularly big deviation, but it is just a little bit below for Ireland, England and Wales. And precipitation-wise, again, we're looking wetter than normal here through the UK, Ireland and into northern parts of Europe as well. So I think that's still a trough, actually, within the 500 millibar flow. Week 4 will be the 21st to 28th of August. Let's have a look. Size of a change then, so some higher pressure beginning to appear across west parts of Europe. The actual transition that might start in week 3, but it's not until we get towards week 4 that we find some higher pressure beginning to develop up the western side of Europe. The 500 millibar height anomaly with above average heights in the Atlantic and across western parts of Europe as well. Temperature anomalies just not ever so slightly above average out to our west, but there's a bit of a warm up that's going on here. Temperature anomalies are beginning to lift up slightly, and look at this, first dry and average week for a while. So we've seen dry and average precipitation anomalies there for the final sort of full week of August. Week 5 will be the 28th of August, 4th of September. Let's have a look. Still with some sort of area of high pressure close to the UK and Ireland, although looks like it's shrinking a little bit. 500 millibar heights, still with an area of above average heights across western parts of Europe. Temperature anomalies still coming out average to ever so slightly above. And precipitation anomalies, again, just a little bit on the drier than average side, but it's not a particularly big deviation. And then lastly, week 6 will be the 4th to the 11th of September. So higher pressure then beginning to move more towards our east, and that could start to bring up some very warm air at the western side of Europe if winds get into the south. I was shaping up for a warm, dry September here, 500 millibar heights with above average heights into over top UK and Ireland. Again, a dry anticyclonic start to September here, or first half of September, above average temperatures. And precipitation looks like that, so drier than average, especially so for France and the UK and into the Low Countries as well. So after an unsettled and rather wet July and August, wouldn't you know it, we get into September, get into the start of mid-tropical autumn, and back comes the high pressure, back comes the warmer, drier conditions. How often does that happen? Of course, it's weeks 5 and 6, so it's most unreliable part of this update, but it would be typical, you know, for early September for high pressure to make a re-emergence. We'll see about that. Before we get to any of that, we've got quite a bit of cool and wet weather to go, though, particularly through the first half of August, so might be a little bit of a slog before we get to those higher pressure signals. If you enjoyed the video, please can you like, share, subscribe, make sure it's doing that. Remember, it's just a snapshot of what Molly's shown. It could look completely different when we look at it again on Tuesday for the wider extended European outlook, and again next Saturday. We'll be back Saturday for the UK and Ireland focused update. That's it for today's content. Just tell you what's coming up tomorrow. We're going to have a 6 AM broadcast. As I say, we've got that second autumn 2023 season model roundup to show you tomorrow, and we're going to have a weekend broadcast of 10 to 14 day as well. Please keep checking back to the channel for all of our content. Thank you so much for tuning out. And for this one, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much to ECMWF.int by way of supplying the channel. Not sure I said that at the start of the video, but thank you so much, EC. Right, that's it then. And enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.